Hello, my name is Michelle. I will be going over your new user orientation for the ProWeb program. I am flying solo today, so unfortunately I will not be able to answer any questions at this time. Please feel free to email me later with your questions at prosupport@taxslayerpro.com. Now let's get started. The URL you will be using for tax preparation is online.taxslayerpro.com. From your login page, you will need to enter your username, password, and security code. The username and password you will be using is the one you created when creating your Pro Online account. The current default security code is in lowercase letters and is the word Apple. At this time, let's go ahead and get logged in. Once you are logged into the website, you will be on your welcome page. First, we'll go into configurations. Into your office setup. Most of this information should already be pre-filled in from the first time that you created your Pro Online account. Just verify your information, and if you're using a bank product, go ahead and select your bank at that time. You can change the login security code simply by highlighting and replacing your security code. You can choose to use the same security code, just continue through. Go ahead and enter in your office address, office phone number, and then continue. Back on your configuration menu to your ERO setup. Again, this information should already be pre-entered. You can edit to verify the information is correct. If you have a second ERO, EFIN, go ahead and select Add, and then enter the information required. Next, you can click on Return back to your configuration menu to your preparer setup. Currently, there should be only your name, your preparer information set up. Click on Edit. And again, re-verify all your information is correct. To add preparers, simply click on Add Preparer. A social security number is not required, so you can just leave that field blank. Then go ahead and enter in a preparer. Enter your PTIN or your SIDN number. If you do not have a number in your data entry only, simply check mark the box. A default PIN number is required. This is the number that will represent the preparer's signature on the tax return. If you are a preparer in New York State and you have a NYTPRN number, you would just check mark your box here and go ahead and enter in that number. If you have an exemption code, also select it at that time. You will enter in your email address. This email address is in case that you forget your username and password. You will create a new username and password for your preparer. And a password. This is case sensitive. There is a security question. The security questions are used in the event that you forget your username and password. The security template, I got a little bit ahead of myself prior to setting up Prepare. Let me explain a little bit about the security template. For this demonstration here, I already have a sample set up for us. It's Full Access Prepare is how I named it. It allows certain access into the actual program itself. For now, I'm going to go ahead and select Full Access Prepare, and then I'll show you how to set up those security templates. We'll go ahead and return back to the Prepare menu and then back to the Configuration main menu. At your security templates, you can choose Add Security Template. And if you want to name it Junior Preparer, again, this is any way that you want to name it. And then you want to go ahead and make sure that you select what parts of the program you do not want them to have access to. If you don't want them to be able to mess with configuration, of course, just uncheck configuration. You don't want them to be able to edit fees, ERO setup, etc. And then go ahead and click Continue. Now, because of my mistake, we'll go ahead and jump back over here to Prepare Setup. And then you can actually edit your Preparer. And then go back down here to the security template. And then select the appropriate security template. And then continue. We can come back to the Configuration main menu. Now we'll go ahead and go into our fee setup. For your Prepare fees, you can charge a minimum Prepare fee, or you can select to choose per form basis, or you can leave it blank and do on a as needed per return basis. For this, I'm just going to go ahead and return and leave it blank and charge it on the actual tax return itself. You can set up custom fees and discounts. Simply just select Add Custom or Add Custom Discount. We're going to jump down here to Print Sets. Currently there is a default for 1 copy federal and state, 2 copy federal and state, but you can choose a print setup based on what you want the return to enclose when printing. Simply name your print setup. And then scroll through your forms and choose what you want to print out with your, for this example, client copy. Once you've selected all your forms, you can go ahead and scroll back to the top here and click on Save. Now we'll go ahead and exit back all the way to the Welcome page. We'll go ahead and start a new return. You click on Start a New Tax Return, enter in your social, confirm your social. If it does not verify or match, if you just highlight up here at the top, you can see what numbers you put in prior to that to verify that you entered it correctly. And then click on Start and Return. If you're offering bank products, the 7216 is the disclosure form needed to be signed by your client in order to release information to a third party. Click OK. And then you're going to go ahead and choose your filing status. Enter in your information. Your dates of birth. Occupation. If the taxpayer can be claimed as a dependent on another return, make sure you check mark the box here. If they're a full-time student, blind, deceased, so on. Go ahead and enter in your address. And then the residency state. Daytime number, and then continue. If you want to add dependents, just click on yes, and then enter dependent information. If you need to add another dependent, just click right here where add, and then you enter in the information provided. On the income page, you can choose Guide Me. The Guide Me is a step-by-step questions on different parts of the return, whether they are business or if they have W-2 information. This is for preparers who are not as experienced. Or you can choose the Enter Myself. The Enter Myself will allow you to go through the program and pick your forms as needed. So we're going to go ahead and enter in a W-2. This information is found on the W-2. Your income, holdings, and then select your state. And continue. You can add another W-2 just by clicking on the Add W-2 statement. We'll go ahead and click on Continue. You can go ahead and go to Deductions if you have no other income. On the Deductions, you can do the same thing. You can choose a Guide Me or an Enter Myself. Your Deductions menus has your adjustments, your standard deductions, itemized deductions, and your credits menu. Your Other Taxes menu, Payments and Estimates, and your miscellaneous forms. You can also click up here at the top and search for certain forms. And just click to Go To Now. Once your federal is completed, you can click right here on Health Insurance, Start Questionnaire, and then answer the questions. If you've got household income, household insurance for the full year, if it was through the marketplace, verify your household members, number of months, and then your federal is completed and you can start on your state. I'm going to jump back here to the very beginning of your health insurance. And we're going to say that they had health insurance, but this time we're going to say through the marketplace. Verify household members. But this time they did not have it for the full month. We're going to say, for the full year, excuse me. We're going to say no. And then you'll just select the number of months that they actually had the health care. You'll uncheck the months that they did not have coverage. And continue. If they received a 1095-A statement, if they're below the poverty line, and if they had a 1095-A, that the coverage did not change through the whole year. If you have a dependent that's on your return that is working, you must enter in the dependent's adjusted gross income and continue. Healthcare exemptions. Did you have a exemption certificate? The type of the individual with the certificate and the certificate number. If no certificate, just click on no, and the exemption code. And then how long the exemption was for. In this case, we're going to say 6 months because they had the first 6 months of no coverage. And click on continue. And then you're going to go ahead and continue again. And then we'll create a state. Select the residency. And then any basic information, additions, subtractions for your state. Once you're finished, you continue. We'll continue past the state return to our calculation summary page. From the calculation summary page, you can click right here where it says preview return. This will allow you to go ahead and view the return. Click continue. Also from your calculation summary page, you can choose the option to 1040 view, which changes it from a summary to your 1040. And anytime you can utilize your guide here on the right hand side if you need to go back into basic information, federal section, so on. We're going to go ahead and continue this return. And this asks your due diligence questions for EIC purposes. And just go through here and answer the appropriate questions. And then continue. Once you've entered in all the information, and you can click on does not meet requirements to see why. There is a question or somewhere in here that may have been answered. Just go back through and just re-answer the questions if you feel that they are incorrect. And then you just click on continue again. Once you've answered the questions, it'll show you that it does meet requirements, and you can just continue on through. If you want to add any miscellaneous statements to the return, and then continue. On your e-file page, this is where you'll go in and select if you're going to do a direct deposit or electronic mail check. If you're offering bank products, at that time you'll actually have a bank product option within inside the federal return type. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and choose electronic mail. Click next. Because I did not pre-enter in fees, I'm going to go ahead and add my prepare fees in. I'm going to go ahead and add an email address. And then I'm going to click on next. I'm going to select my state type. Next. And then third-party information. Next. Some states require a driver's license information. New York is one that requires the driver's license information as well as a New York document ID. If it says optional, it is just that, it's optional. Go ahead and click on Save. The save will take you to the submission page. On the submission page, you can choose your copies to print. At this time, you can go ahead and verify your information. Mark it paid, mark it as complete. And then if it's ready to transmit to the IRS, you just click Save and Transmit to IRS. For now, for this, we're just going to go ahead and choose Save and Exit Return. Back on your welcome page, if you want to go back in to review those returns that you were working on, you'll just click on Client Search. Locate any of the clients that you're wanting to work on, and then you'll click on Select and it'll take you back into that return. Also on this client page, you'll see if the returns in status is complete or if it's in progress, if it's been accepted or rejected. If it's rejected, you can click on where it says Tools and go to Client Status. And on your Client Status is where you can review for the rejection. You can also choose Enter the Return, which by Enter a Return, that actually takes you back into the tax return. Or you can cancel back out to the client list and then back again to the main menu of the program. On your welcome page, if you want to or need to, create a prior year tax return, you just go down to the year specific to the return you're needing to prepare for, and then select your Create Prior Year Return. Your 2013 returns will need to be mailed. Currently, 14 and 15 returns can be electronically filed by electronic mail check only. Also, back at your welcome page, you have the Message Center. This will allow you to create and send messages between your preparers and yourself. It's as simple as clicking on Create Message, selecting the recipient you're wanting to send to, entering your note, and then you'll just click on Send. Click Return, back to the main menu, and then your other preparer will actually show one message in the Message Center. The program automatically receives acknowledgments for you, but you can choose to come in and print reports and print any of your IRS or state acknowledgments, any validation reports, transmitted returns, accepted returns, rejected returns. Because of the easy use of the ProWeb program, this concludes our webinar today. I would like to thank you for being with me today. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at prosupport@taxlayerpro.com. Have a great day.